Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. Today it's kind of a little bit of a fallish day. The weather is starting to remind us that it's actually fall and not summer, because we had some really nice weather here the last little while, which kind of was sort of making up for the crappy summer that we had. But with that being said, we have a large package that just arrived today, and I'm going to open it up with you guys right now. Alright, so a little backstory on the rear window louvers for the 2016-17 Camaro SS. These are made by Icon Motorsports, and if you guys watch Lethal Camaro's channel, these are the exact ones that Icon Motorsports gave him for his channel, kind of to do an install and stuff like that. But they weren't what he wanted to put on his car, which is understandable. They are not for everybody, and I totally understand that, because I was very much on the fence about them. But he gave these to Maplefed, who put them on his black SS, and now actually he's gone a different way and got a different set, so he passed these on to me. So these louvers actually have quite a bit of history within the YouTube world, so I'm very honored to have them. They came all the way from California. Thank you to Maplefed. I'll have all his information in the description. Definitely follow him on Instagram. And we're going to put these in place on the 2017 SS, and you guys give me your opinion. Well, everyone, here they are. Now, I know I'm going to have a bunch of mixed reviews on how these louvers actually look on the car, but for me, I mean, Maplefed sent them to me. They weren't something that I had to purchase, so it was kind of a no-brainer to try them out. I mean, they only two-side tape onto the window, so if there's something I decide that I don't want after a while, I mean, it's pretty easy to take it off, but I'm actually really digging the way it looks. So we're definitely going to be installing these on the car and trying them out and kind of seeing what you guys' reactions are. So definitely throw those comments in the comment section. Let's see what you guys think of these things. Okay, since this is the second time this kit has been installed, the tape is already on here and it's been used. So we're going to have to remove this old stuff. And this kind of seems almost like a foam center. And the new 3M stuff is, I don't know, I think it's a little bit more strong. Maybe this is a stronger type of tape, but I've had really good luck with this stuff, so we're going to be installing new 3M two-sided tape when we install these on the back window. Okay, I got most of it off. It's still got a little bit of residue on here, so I'm going to take my wire wheel on my little angle drill here and just kind of buff that off. And since these kind of got a little bit of rust where they welded on the stud here for the plastic nut, so what I'm going to be doing anyway, I'm going to be cleaning that up and then going to give these a fresh coat of paint so they can withstand our Pennsylvania salt if anything were to get in there. I don't want to have these things rusting and making a big mess, but that's what we're going to do and get these all cleaned up and looking brand new again. So we got our trusty Rust-Oleum. This is just a flat enamel. We don't really need a gloss. You're not going to see these anyway, but it's just what we had laying around on the bench. This is going to do the job for us and get it all protected from rust, hopefully in the future. Alright, we're going to let those dry. So while these are drying, we have time to prep our rear window. The more and more I look at it, I just love the way it looks. I mean, honestly, it's really growing on me. And this is honestly something that I was really on the fence about, because I didn't want to do, or actually cross that line with the car that makes it kind of look like you overdid something. But now when I take this off, it just doesn't look right. Let's do a little before and after, since it's just sitting on here. So here's before, and here's after. I am definitely a fan of the after. Alright, we're going to bring the car outside. It gives us a lot more room to kind of work around here and be able to see a little bit better, make sure that the window is nice and clean. So this is actually going to be the first totally cold start with the catless mid pipes. just wanted to do a quick overview on the louvers themselves. The quality looks pretty good to me. I mean, there's a couple little marks here and here and here. Actually, when I first saw it, I thought maybe it had cracks, but they're actually just little lines, I guess, from the mold or something like that. I mean, this is just my opinion by looking at it. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but this is how I got it. It doesn't look like it's been damaged or anything like that. But this piece has been painted, so it's the gloss black, which is exactly what I wanted because it matches the rear diffuser and the front splitter and kind of goes well with the stripes and all that kind of good stuff. But as far as quality for fit and finish, I mean, it's a pretty good product. It fits the window really well and kind of gives that rear window some dimension, because in my opinion this window kind of sits low and it doesn't really look, I don't know, it just needs, it seemed like it needed something, and I think this is going to do it for my car anyway. Alright, so since this car is so filthy, we're going to do a wash on the entire thing because the wheels are all dirty, it's full of brake dust and everything. It's starting to look pretty horrible. So the first thing we're going to do when we wash this is to take the Novistretch off, and I'm a big supporter of the Novistretch. I know some people love them, some people hate them. They're actually a very great product. And honestly, with this thing here, you can go to a car show, have no bugs on your car, and flip it underneath the bumper with only undoing the top two snaps. It stretches that much that you can get away with that. Alright, it is off, and so are all the bugs. But if you're going to use that method and put the Novistretch underneath the bumper, remember to put it back on, because when I was leaving the YouTube call out the last time, I did just that, had it underneath, you didn't even know it was there, it was all good, and we were all getting ready to leave, and my Novistretch actually was dragging on the ground, got caught on the wheels, and it actually pulled out the snaps and everything, and it was just gone. So the people that were behind me said they saw where it fell off and actually went back and got it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put on the old Novistretch, because Novistretch was nice enough to give me a new one, because this one now has a couple of holes in it. But I'm going to show you what a Novistretch looks like after it's been ripped from the car and driven over by about 4 or 5 cars. All right, everybody, I put this one on just to illustrate what a Novistretch looks like after it's been ripped clean off the car and run over at highway speeds by several vehicles. This side of the vehicle is actually completely fine. There's no damage whatsoever. The only damage that actually got on this thing was over here. There's a couple of holes and stuff, but I mean, there was gravel on the road and there was all kinds of stuff like that. It got run over by a truck, it got run over by a couple of other cars behind me. It's really hard to tell exactly what caused the holes themselves, but as you can see, this thing can still be used. I mean, 98% of it is still completely intact, and it's surprising that this thing wasn't just shredded to nothing. But it is an extremely high quality product. The stuff that they use to make these, it actually is non-scratching, so you can have this on your painted surface, no expel, no problems at all. I've never had any issues with scratching, chafing, rubbing, or any of that kind of stuff. You just want to make sure that your painted surface obviously is clean underneath, because if you put it on a dirty car, I mean, there's going to be something in between, and naturally that's going to scratch. But I have never had any problems with this thing, and it's been a really great product, and as you can see, it can stand up to even the most extreme conditions. Alright, we got the car all nicely cleaned up. I just want to make sure we don't have any more contaminants on that back window to make sure that 3M tape is going to stick as best as it possibly can. So we're going to use a clay bar and some detail spray and make sure that it's all cleaned up really nicely, and we should have no problems with this thing staying on. Alright, we got new tape on all of our stick-on stud plates. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all of these onto the louver themselves with the little nuts that it comes with. And then we're going to pull the other side of the tape off, this protective coating. And then we're going to be able to set it in place for the first time and kind of get it where it's going to sit. And then we're going to pull it off, and these will stay on the window, and we're just going to kind of push down on each one, make sure they have really good adhesion. And we're ready to put it on for the last time. Okay, this will probably be easier with 2 people, but I'm going to be doing this by myself, so just so if you have to do this on your own, if I can do it, so can you. Alright, we got it pulled back off again so we can kind of push down on each one of these plates where they're going to stay. And a couple of moved just a tiny little bit, but It's nothing that's going to affect any kind of operation of this louver system. So what I'm going to do, since it is a bit of a cooler day out today, it's a fall day, I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to push down on each one of these plates with a little bit of heat to make sure that the glue gets really nice and warm. You don't want to use too much heat when it comes to windows and things like that, but just enough to warm it up, so as if it was like maybe a summer day, but not too hot that you wouldn't be able to touch it. All right, the louvers are in place. Everything is nicely tightened down. So tomorrow we are going to be stress testing this system because we're heading to Maple Grove Speedway for roll racing. This is the Beast Coast Shootout. So it'll be a great time to test out the louvers for some high speed action. Well, that was the install of the rear louver system for the 6th Gen Camaro from Icon Motorsports. Thank you very much to Maplefed for sending me these all the way from California. They look great on the car and they're really growing on me. So I'm really glad that I took the plunge, and I was kind of, skeptical about these at first, but now that I see them on the car, I definitely know that it was the right decision to install these. So if you guys liked the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Definitely drop your comments about what you think of the louvers on the car in the comments section, and keep that hammer down.